Yo, what is up, guys? Today we're going to be watching a golf cart video, The Curse of Building Something Too Big, the Ludwig Ahgren story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. Let's get started.
For a kid who grew up dreaming of the spotlight, becoming the top streamer in the world, #1 by every metric, wasn't just a win, it felt like destiny. Like the internet gods reached down and said, yeah, you.
Wait, did he say the #1 streamer? Wait, go back.
Dreaming of the spotlight. For a kid who grew up dreaming of the spotlight, becoming the top streamer in the world,
Becoming the top streamer in the world.
#1 by every metric, was
#1 by every minute? Hold on a
just a
second.
win, it felt like destiny. Like the internet gods reached down and said, yeah, you.
Was he really though?
Ludwig broke records, reinvented formats, and for a moment, it felt like
Reinvented formats, more like using other people's content. Stop it.
he was untouchable. Ludwig broke records, reinvented formats, and for a moment, it felt like he was untouchable.
Thank you for this award.
In just 30 days, he became the internet's golden boy, stacking achievement upon achievement, building an empire that seemed destined to rise forever.
I thought from then on, I was going to be the biggest streamer in the world.
But there was just one problem. The game of social media is broken. Think of it like Jenga, where every success, every viral hit, every milestone adds another block to the tower. And the higher you go, the closer you are to collapse. You see, Ludwig wasn't just chasing the views. His entire self-worth was measured by them. And that's the trap you see over and over. Creators climb to the top, crown themselves kings, and then burn out trying to reverse the fall. But Ludwig realized something that most don't. If you don't like the game you're playing, change the rules. Okay, so just a quick note here. We started working on this video about a month ago.
Hold on. So 2 months ago he was working on it, and then a month ago he posted it, and I'm just now getting to it.
And we were almost done editing it right around the same time as the Mario Kart stream. What happened there and how certain things were handled was definitely disappointing. But with that being said, this video isn't about that. We made this video before any of that happened, and after a lot of debate, we decided to not shelve it. Because we still believe in the story that it tells, and we think it's worth sharing. But if you're
It took him a month to decide to post it. That's crazy.
looking for videos that address
Because his life story has nothing to do with what Mango did. Like, come on, bro.
the Mario Kart situation directly, I'll leave a few linked down below in the description. But this video really just focuses on Ludwig's
do not
story
care.
before any of that, so we hope you can still enjoy it. The story of Ludwig really begins in 2005, and during a 5th grade class presentation, he debuted a parody of the novel My Brother Sam is Dead, in which he cleverly retitled My Brother Slam is Dead. When he read one of his favorite jokes aloud, the classroom burst into laughter, and right there in that moment, the spotlight turned on. The dopamine hit, and he was hooked. From that point on, Ludwig was everywhere he could be, singing in the choir, co-starring in plays, leading pep rallies, and hosting school events like it was late-night TV.
All right, up next we have the interview portion, where all contestants will be lined up and at random selected with the spotlight to answer a question. Hey Ben, how's it going? Good. Ben, I'm gonna throw you one and I just hope it doesn't go south. What is your favorite website?
We are in school, right?
Shouldn't start with a P.
As video sharing platforms gained momentum, Ludwig brought his passion online. He launched a YouTube channel under the alias The Zany Sidekick, experimenting with Call of
Not the zany sidekick. Oh my god.
Duty gameplay and commentary.
No.
Let's get a little revenge. Suck it, Max. You just got owned.
When Vine exploded in popularity in 2013, he quickly
Not the Vine video. Oh god.
adapted to crafting 7-second skits that perfectly showcased his sharp wit and impeccable comedic
Come on, play
timing.
one for us. Play one for us.
Straight out of a stripper's butt crack.
After high school, Ludwig left New Hampshire behind and headed
Jesus
west
Christ.
to Arizona State University. It was a new state with new faces, but the mindset stayed the same. Try everything.
Oh yeah, Arizona State University, where him, Slime, Nick, and Aiden all went to school.
He was rejected from fraternities, passed over by clubs, comedy groups, a cappella groups. He kept showing up, but they kept saying no. For the first time, the stage felt far away. So, he built his own.
Hey guys, welcome to Tempe Late Night. I am your host, Ludwig.
A bunch of misfits, all turned down from that same ASU comedy group, got together and formed a rival. They called it Tempe Late Night, a scrappy little comedy group with an audience of 0.
I understand why he is like he is.
Bob Ross, not premature ejaculation.
Nah, that's crazy, Ludwig.
The build was slow, but by the end of the
Where do you find all these videos first, bro? He must have did a huge deep
year,
dive.
Tempe Late Night began selling out shows, packing out seats. It had far transcended what the rival comedy show had ever achieved, taking the throne of the top comedy group on campus. Now, throughout all of this, Ludwig's dream was always the same. Late nights, a live audience, and his name in the lights. Think Fallon, Kimmel, or Letterman. The career of his dreams was to host a talk show. But somewhere in the middle of his junior year, fate threw a wrench in his Hollywood blueprint. It came in the form of a plastic relic.
Super Smash Bros. Melee. Oh boy, here we go.
2001, a Nintendo GameCube disc titled Super Smash Bros. Melee. What started as a casual
What a
hobby
game.
turned into a full-blown obsession. He'd spend infinite hours learning the mains, learning how to ledge lash. He discovered competitive Melee tournaments, streamed on this little platform called Twitch, and he started watching, then studying. He got better than his friends and decided that wasn't enough. He wanted in, so he hit the road. Local tournaments, hotel bar rooms, folding chairs, and CRTs. This was the minor league
Hey, why isn't he bringing up when he worked at like Snapchat, you know?
of competitive Smash. And here's
on,
how it
man.
worked. Once you got knocked out, you had two choices. Pack it up or pick up a mic. And Ludwig didn't win much, but damn could he commentate.
Just waiting for Axe to get this 3-1.
It really started at Runback 2017. He called matches with an infectious energy, cracked jokes that actually landed, and filled every silence like it owed him money.
If a quiz is a quizzical, what's a test?
Alright, Ludwig, you got it. He is funny, I'll give him that.
And
alright?
somewhere
I'll give
between the
him that.
losers bracket and the after parties, Ludwig began to grow a name for himself in the Melee community. As his presence grew, so did his circle. He started running with some of the big names in the Melee world, guys who were already super well known in the scene. People like Slime, and that
The OG slime sickle. Well, that's not, well, slime machine.
mattered, because for a while, Ludwig wasn't the guy. He was friends with the guy.
I love Slime. Have you met Slime?
I've met Slime. I'm a big fan of Slime.
Okay, yeah, he's a legend.
Slime made Ludwig. I'll say that the least.
Now, remember Slime because he's going to be important later. But meanwhile, Ludwig had graduated college and made the leap, fully moved to LA, ready to start his first big boy job, running the website for a wine and spirits magazine. For a few glorious days, things were great. He wore button-ups, he showed up early, he felt important. But just weeks later, he was fired. Something about
hate it.
screwing up the site and maybe lying on his resume.
I moved to LA for this job. I don't have anything.
This would become a recurring theme over the next
I moved to LA for this job. I don't have anything.
This would become a recurring theme over the next few years. A weird, wobbly balancing act between this Melee thing and paying rent.
How do we finesse this guy to get jobs at NBC?
Yeah, we're both writers. We need jobs.
Slime and Ludwig had quickly became a fan-favorite duo in the Melee scene. Their chemistry on commentary was electric, and after a guest spot on Slime's Bad Melee podcast, Ludwig caught the bug. He figured, hell, why not try out this streaming thing on his own?
All right, 160,
And honestly, his first few streams went surprisingly well. A dozen or so loyal Melee heads would tune in, keep the chat alive, and hang out for a few hours. Not bad for a guy figuring it out on the fly, but Twitch remained on the back burner. Every time Ludwig landed a new job, Snapchat, Best Buy, or wherever, streaming took a backseat. Because dreams are cool, but rent's due on the first. Still, the itch never left, so he made a deal with himself. Stacked $10,000 in savings, enough to float a few months of full-time streaming. That was the goal. And after landing a head of marketing gig at a vaping startup called IQ Vapes, Ludwig started
This motherfucker, the vape company, ruining children's lives one vape at a time.
shoveling cash into that fund. But late 2018 changed everything. There was a Melee event in Las Vegas, Scar versus Fendi. Big names, high stakes.
I want to bet on it right now.
Ludwig was on the mic and it was lightning in a bottle. The stream popped off, the YouTube VODs went viral, and the entire Melee community took notice.
He did. Oh my God!
Then came the Hotels.com commercial that featured Ludwig, which was like kind of random, but whatever.
What's up, gamers?
Ludwig's a gamer.
No, I'm a professional gamer.
Then came the most
I hate this nigga, bro. And Ludwig's gamer. No, I'm a professional gamer.
Hugo Gonzalez, another Melee legend. Ludwig took the stage, mic in hand, zero hesitation, and he murdered. Again, viral. And suddenly
Was
the
that
stage,
a
mic in
cutout of
hand, zero
Slime?
hesitation,
Oh my god, I did. I hate. Swear to God.
and he murdered. Again, viral. And suddenly Ludwig stopped
Alright.
caring about the 9 to 5, started prepping his stream work during work hours. He showed up late and clocked in mentally somewhere else. Eventually, in early February 2019, he was fired. The savings account was still shy of the target, and the timing, a disaster like always. But the walls were closing in. The gun was pressed against the back of his head. If Ludwig wanted to become an entertainer, it was now or never.
So starting today, I have left my job, and I will now be streaming full-time on twitch.tv/Ludwig Ahgren.
In his first full month as a streamer, Ludwig really just stuck with what he knew: Super Mario, Pokemon, and other closely related games. Day after day, he went live and began to build a bit of a following. By the end of the month, the stats were honestly pretty solid. He streamed for a total of 145 hours.
God, it's so off-putting seeing slime with hair. It's just... I known slime with no hair for so long.
The stats were honestly pretty solid. He streamed for a total of 145 hours, averaged 251 viewers, and made a little over $2,800. A great start at his new job. Now from this point forward, I'd say there were 3 big booms that really skyrocketed Ludwig's online career. And the first was in June of 2019.
We have 2 off-limit things you guys aren't allowed to talk about. 1, chest hole. 2, the pimple, okay? That's it.
It's ringing.
Oh no.
I heard you have a chest hole.
What the chat?
Cutie Cinderella was a fellow Twitch streamer who at the time was actually a bit more well known than Ludwig. And as you longtime fans may already know, they to this day have remained close friends. Now, let's be clear, this stream wasn't a...
Did he say till this day they remain close friends? I must have misheard him.
Who at the time was actually a bit more well known than Ludwig. And as you longtime fans may already know, they to this day have remained close friends.
Like, why not just say they're dating? Everyone knows that they're dating. I swear to God, what the fuck's wrong with the golf cart man? He's like, what is he doing?
Now, let's be clear, this stream wasn't a viral explosion moment, but it was the spark, the start of a pivot. Ludwig began shifting away from purely melee-centric content, and leaning into a wider range of ideas that showed off his personality and charisma. Storytimes, over-the-top react to a wider range of ideas that showed off his personality and charisma. Storytimes, over-the-top reactions, and monumental series like Letting Chat Spend My Money and Try Not to Laugh.
I can never wear this in public.
The summer of 2019, Chat Spend My Money and Try Not to Laugh.
Of course, I come fast. I got fish to catch.
Never wear this in public.
The summer of 2019 was a huge swing in momentum, and by December, Ludwig had cracked over 3,000 average viewers and amassed more than 125,000 Twitch followers.
I've literally gone up 100 viewers saying nothing, just sitting in the just chatting section looking all cute as hell.
2020 kicked off with an unexpected boom, not just for Ludwig, but for content creators across the board.
The breaking news, stay at home, that is the order tonight from 4 state governors as the coronavirus pandemic spreads.
COVID sucked, there's no doubt about it, but while the world shut down, the internet lit up. Twitch didn't just grow, it exploded, practically tripling overnight. And Ludwig, he was strapped in and ready to ride the wave. His breakout moment came with PogChamps, an online chess tournament hosted by Chess.com that turned Twitch into the world's nerdiest coliseum. 16 streamers, names like XQC, Moist Critical, and of course Ludwig, duking it out for a $10,000 prize pool and digital bragging rights. PogChamps caught fire. Overnight, it became the event on the internet. Ludwig got knocked out of the top bracket early, sure, but the real show started in the loser's bracket.
You want to do a little side wager? I'll give the 100 subs if you beat me.
Easy money.
He clawed his way to the semifinals, where he took down XQC and then hit the grand finale, a face-off with Moist Critical. Over 72,000 viewers tuned in live. It was by far Ludwig's most watched stream ever, smashing his previous peak by over 56,000. He lost the final in Game 3, but it didn't matter, because Ludwig was becoming a household name.
I am Ludwig!
Mogul
Knight of the
Marines.
Moguls! Fighter for the free! What do we stand
Tax
for?
evasion.
Love,
Pog.
life, and subscribing to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Ludwig Ahgren.
From there, he latched on to breakout trends like Among Us, kept the content flowing with Cutie Cinderella, and started rolling out new segments and original series like Among Us, kept the content flowing with Cutie Cinderella.
He does have makeup on. I
And
thought I was
started rolling
seeing
out new
things.
segments, an original series that turned his channel into a goldmine of viral moments and inside jokes. Every week there was something new. Something turned his channel into a goldmine of viral moments and inside jokes. Every week there was something new, something shareable, memeable, unforgettable.
Yeah, shirtless 10-year-old in my room. Woo!
But it wasn't just the content, it was the grind. From July through December, Ludwig streamed like a machine. Out of the 183 days, he was live for 175. That's only 8 days off in 6 months. And it paid off. By the year's end, he had cracked 1 million followers on Twitch and 1 million subs on YouTube. 2 platforms, 2 huge milestones, and 1 relentless creator. Then came February, and that streak ended. You see, Ludwig had planned a quick vacation, a quick visit with family back home, and a ski trip in Maine. Time to chill, relax, reset. But on the first night, things went sideways. Back home in a ski February, and that streak ended. You see, Ludwig had planned a quick vacation, a quick visit with family back home, and a ski trip in Maine. Time to chill, relax. Reset.
It is Eamon.
But on the first night, things went sideways. His appendix had nearly burst. Emergency surgery, the whole 9 yards. Everything went fine, thankfully, but he was forced to take a few weeks off. When he finally returned, something was off. The numbers dipped. Viewership slid. Not catastrophic, but definitely noticeable. Maybe it was the fear of going back to a normal job, or maybe it was ego. But either way, something inside of Ludwig snapped. Because what he did next didn't just bring the viewers back, it made history.
Boys, today, for the first time ever,
subathon.
we are going to do an uncapped subathon.
So for those of you not familiar with Twitch or streaming in general, a subathon is a special kind of marathon live stream on Twitch, where the length of the stream increases every time someone subscribes to the channel. On Twitch, a subscription, or sub, is a paid monthly support tier, generally costing about $5, but it gives viewers perks like ad-free viewing, exclusive emotes, and badges, plus it directly supports the streamer financially. Now, typically streamers put a cap on their subathon, meaning no matter how many subs roll in, the stream ends at a set time. But Ludwig, he didn't bother with a cap. His stream would keep going for as long as chat kept feeding the timer. Here's how it worked. Every new sub added 30 seconds to the stream, and when he first hit go live, the clock was set at 30 minutes. That's it, half an hour. Just a few minutes later, the timer had already climbed to 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 35 seconds. Quick math for you, that translates to 193 subs and roughly $965 in just minutes. For the next 31 days, Ludwig lived on camera. Every moment, every mundane detail of his life was shared with tens of thousands of viewers. He gamed, he cooked, he worked out, he showered in shorts, thank God, and he slept. But even when he slept, the stream didn't stop. Every time Ludwig went to bed, he'd wake up finding the timer even longer than before. 30 hours, 40, 50.
The thing says 60 hours, which seems a little high.
By day 10, Ludwig wasn't just streaming, he was dominating the internet, the most watched man on Twitch, and all he was doing was living his life. After 2 weeks, the subathon had outgrown its humble beginnings, and with no end in sight, Ludwig and the team decided to cut the time added per sub in half, from 20 seconds down to just 10. And yet, the timer would not die, even when Ludwig stepped away, leaving the stream in the hands of his friend.
Oh my god, the good old Slime streams on the subathon, damn.
And Slime,
What a
the
time
audience
to be
only
alive.
grew. Slime hosted chaotic trucking simulators in full Bass Pro cosplay. The boys ripped for hours, and it was so stupidly fun that viewers were more hooked than ever. By early April, Ludwig's subathon had crossed into uncharted territories. Donations spiked, viewers rallied, and eventually Ludwig and the team decided to hard hit the stream in 31 days. And because of that, a new goal emerged: to break the record. On April 13th, with the timer no longer extending and tens of thousands watching, the number ticked upward. Ludwig had officially become the most subscribed Twitch streamer of all time. The last few hours were surreal. Tension gave way to nostalgia. The race car bed was destroyed in celebration. Donations poured in, not for time, but for charity. Ludwig pledged over $350,000 to causes like St. Jude's and the Humane Society. Then, as the timer hit 0, Ludwig sat quietly in front of his camera. No grand finale, no gimmicks. Just a salute and a screen fading to black for the first time in a month. The subathon pulled over 283,034 active subscribers, generated millions of hours watched, and launched a new format that many would imitate, but few would ever match. It was a once-in-a-lifetime moment, and Ludwig knew it. The thing no one tells you about blowing up online is what comes next. Everyone's ready for the rise, the subscribers, the headlines, the attention, all focused in one direction: you. In the content world, most creators only get one act. You blow up, you ride the high, and eventually you fade. It's nothing personal, it's just the nature of the game.
Here's what happened. The subathon ended, and I got 283,000 subs. I was the most sub streamer, bunch of media attention around it. I had the highest viewers I've ever had, 200,000 people watching live at one moment. The most subs anyone's ever had ever. I was like, dope. I cried from joy. And obviously, like, for that month, I was like the biggest Twitch streamer. And I thought after that, I was like, I made it. Red carpet. All right, paparazzi. I thought from then on, I was gonna be the biggest streamer in the world. And I wasn't. I fell off drastically, like crashed down to almost less than I had before I even did the subathon. I had the biggest fall off anyone's ever had, in fact, on Twitch. I went from 280,000 subs to 0, which no one's ever done.
But Ludwig wasn't interested in being another character in that game. Instead, he decided to take the controller and make his own.
Post-subathon, there was also a moment where your Twitch contract ends.
Yeah, the subathon had kind of wrapped up and the contract was ending, and I started to talk to Twitch. and we chatted.
I forgot this is the YouTube move. Yeah. Mhm.
It didn't feel like Twitch wanted me as much as I thought. Maybe they should. Maybe self-righteously, I thought like they should want me. I'm the most subbed guy. And I started to rethink if I wanted to be on Twitch.
I would still have viewers if I was bald.
No, you would
I
not.
remember this
Yeah,
too.
people
Oh
like
my
me because
God,
I'm
it's been
witty
so long.
and I'm bilingual.
Yeah, so am I.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Kaboom.
Oh yeah? What language you speak?
American Sign Language.
Prove it.
Thank you.
Everyone knows that.
Cat.
That was kind of impressive.
Father.
It was such a good fucking trailer, bro. I swear.
You know what poop is?
Oh.
Huh. It's pretty much the same one.
Yeah, it's just like a different color.
Yeah. Just want to take that home?
Let's go.
Ludwig didn't see his YouTube deal as a platform switch. He saw it more as a blank canvas. Not the kind you see in a museum where the final painting is already a perfectly crafted Mona Lisa, but the kind you use when you're about to watch a Bob Ross how-to because you don't know the first thing about painting.
YouTube, I mean, they make you feel like you're having drinks with your buds at the table. And so talking with them more and more, I started to feel better about it.
With YouTube backing him, he suddenly had the freedom to try anything, and that's exactly what he did. He wanted a space where he could talk about whatever he wanted. No chat weighing in live, no stress of getting banned on his main channel again, and somewhere he felt comfortable uploading videos that would help him in creating content.
And this is the first time I've ever said this, but the reason that I created this channel in the first place is because I thought that I was going to start uploading videos on a different channel than the
How do you take this recording and put it in such low quality?
channel that I was
Like, I know
live
it can go
streaming from
higher.
when I started my YouTube contract. And what it started to develop into is this channel became a place where I honed a skill that I was incredibly bad at, which is offline recordings.
Every Mogul Mail upload was a surprise. There was everything from life advice to personal updates to commentary about creator slop.
This is awkward because this is 21 Savage who just released an album with Drake.
Oh my God, that was the stream where Aiden got
Creator
fucking
slop.
This is awkward.
scammed by playing cards? Was it? Or was that a different stream? Maybe it's a stream.
Because this is 21 Savage who just released an album with Drake, scamming Aiden Ross out of thousands of dollars when he's worth eight figures, eight something figures. It's great.
The fucking the deck with fucking marked cards that Aiden couldn't tell were marked.
It's easy to do even if you're not rich, but it's just extra levels of crazy when you are that rich, that famous, and also in front of 100,000 people.
At the same time, he was giving away pieces of the empire that he'd built throughout the years, and he wasn't handing out pieces in charity.
The trio I would never forget in life: Nick, Eamon, and Slime.
But in loyalty. Earlier that year, Ludwig and his friends Nick, Aiden, and Slime started the Yard.
I have an idea. We get our shit together.
Where's the
and we
monkey?
make a podcast.
So, what about calling it the Yard? Okay.
Well, that's
Okay.
good.
I don't know.
That's good.
I like that a lot.
That's a
Hey,
good.
can you like it there?
Okay.
You did great.
How do you do this all the time?
This is great.
Another good idea. I love this.
Don't do this again.
How do you do this all the time?
This is great.
Another good idea. I love this.
I don't know.
How do you always do it? How do you always do it? I like it.
Eamon's just sitting. I hate him.
Yeah, right.
The Yard was his way of saying thank you, because for Ludwig, those three guys were more than just friends. They had been there before the spotlight ever found its way to him, and instead of leaving them behind, they sat down in a couple of lawn chairs, turned on the mics, and talked like the cameras didn't exist. And it popped, with every episode getting hundreds of thousands of views and a Patreon with almost 59,000 members. The Yard was printing more money than Ludwig knew what to do with, so splitting the near $250,000 a month only felt right. It wasn't just a podcast, it was profit sharing disguised as a hangout. But Ludwig didn't want to just make things, he wanted to enable others to do the same, to help creators whose ideas were bigger than their budgets.
I started a company called Off-Brand with the idea of making events for not just myself, but other creators.
Off-Brand Studios was officially launched on September 27th, 2022, with big expectations for the future. Now, event production is no easy task. The logistics, live problem solving, and massive behind-the-scenes efforts make it a constant challenge. Lucky for Ludwig, he had experienced employees lined up at the door. There were multiple people staffed from his own company, Mogul Moves, and even Beyond the Summit, the same production company that he worked with throughout his entire career. Now, for those of you who don't know, Beyond the Summit was a production company that played a huge role in shaping the culture of esports. They held events for games like Dota Dota 2, CSGO, Rocket League, and of course both of the Super Smash titles. It was known as a community-driven company that cared equally about the fans and the players, but with the esports community taking a tumble, they were eventually forced to shut down in early 2023. But Off-Brand wasn't trying to be beyond the summit. Its goal wasn't to just host gaming tournaments, it was to challenge the norms of live streaming. For example, XQC's gaming show Juiced. Juiced was a game show where contestants would compete in games of wit and athleticism to win the final prize, which was basically to not get juiced. It wasn't a brand new idea, but for streaming, it was. And sure, the actual event was a little scuffed at the beginning, but for it being Off-Brand's first one, it was considered a success. Riding the success of Off-Brand, Ludwig's mindset was to do one thing: take streaming to places that couldn't even be imagined.
What's chess boxing?
The coolest sport ever, dude.
Oh my God.
It is
Chess
one round of
boxing.
chess, and then you switch for one round of boxing, and you alternate until somebody wins by checkmate or knockout.
The internet was split, one half eager with anticipation and the other laughing, but both sides ended up tuning in, with the stream getting 315,000 peak viewers, close to a full 100K more than his month-long subathon. The thought of the event was so far-fetched that it shouldn't have worked, and depending on how you look at it, it didn't. The chess boxing event lost close to $150,000 of Ludwig's own money, but it wasn't about profit, it was about what was possible, and that same thought process persisted through every event.
This was the coolest event I've ever been able to do, and I hope it was worth your time.
From the Streamer Games, a multi-day competition that felt as if the Olympics had a YouTube channel.
We won Ludwig Streamer Games, okay? Everyone's gonna call it rigged. It's not rigged.
It's always, if he wins, it's rigged. I don't care what they say. It's rigged. That's why he's not doing it this year. Well,
To the Creator Dodgeball tournament, it became
No, I'm
evidently
playing.
clear that everything Ludwig did had to be one thing: different. And for a while, that's exactly what Off-Brand was, a successful production company behind multiple events, many of which pulled a substantial viewership. But by late 2024, Off-Brand began to eerily resemble Beyond the Summit in more ways than one. Cracks started to show in a business model that proved nearly impossible to sustain. Production costs exceeded what most creators were willing or able to pay. In the end, the combination of an unstable industry and financial mismanagement led Off-Brand to officially shut down on December 13th, 2024.
Unfortunately, yesterday we had to announce.
yeah, it was mismanagement from the company side, not Ludwig's, because it was like they weren't managing the money right.
That we're closing down the production side of Off-Brand.
Yep.
In a space obsessed with being bigger, faster, louder, Ludwig's secret weapon is that he's never pretended to be anything that he's not. It's not talent, plenty of people are talented. It's not discipline, he streams maybe 4 hours a day.
My ideal dream is that I stream 4 hours, 6 days a week, right? I have done maybe 4 hours, 6 days this month, okay? And the month is damn near over.
It's not luck, he's made his fair share of mistakes. What makes him stick out among a crowd is how little he hides, how he not only shares his wins, but also his losses. He made the Yard's Patreon numbers public, helped creators' ideas come to life, and paved the way for others.
Is it just me, or is Golf Cart showing himself more on videos? I'm gonna have to look over some more stuff.
Follow. At the same time, he's admitted to hating his second channel, Mogul Mail.
I don't like talking about these things. It's not like a big mood lifter for my day. In addition to not wanting to make stuff that I don't think is good, making stuff that is incredibly heavy has made it harder.
When his company Off-Brand eventually was forced to close its production branch, he didn't shy away about why.
So the issue was less that events don't make money, but more so that the appetite from creators for events of that scale at the cadence it would need to be would not allow people to be employed full-time.
He's been brutally honest about his fears of parasocial relationships with his fans.
You shouldn't form a relationship with me. At the end of the day, I'm entertainment. If I stop entertaining, you stop watching. That's it.
A lot of creators lean into parasocial relationships, acting like the chat is just one of the boys, and if they ever met in real life, that they would be the best of friends. But in actuality,
none of your content creators, your favorite ones, including me, are your friends.
He pushed the narrative that you don't really know your favorite creator, and that's okay.
Yeah, I feel like even coming on this show could promote social relationships if I'm being too real.
Yeah.
I will say, Ludwig says all this, and yet he's super friendly with all the fans. He talks to people like they're fans, they're friends, even though they're fans. He's just not me, you know.
And then they're like, damn, Ludwig's so real. I actually like him now. And then they give me their money.
So
and they're like,
I love you, and then they're my DMs, Dr. K.
Even on stream, he isn't playing up an online character. Some days he shows up with no plan, no prepped content, no setup bits that have to be executed at a certain time. He'll play a random game, react to other creators' videos, or ask chat what they want to do. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes it can be less than thrilling, other times it can be hilariously entertaining, but it's always authentic. Because unlike so many creators obsessed with maintaining the illusion of control, Ludwig seems fine admitting that he doesn't always know what the hell he's doing.
So how are you finding fulfillment in other areas of your life then? You said your girlfriend, you said your job, helping out other people. Let's get down to like some specifics of what you've seen make a measurable difference on your happiness.
Seeing everybody at the office gives me a lot of joy, and making a cool show and then doing the picture at the end where we all group up.
I've become an old man in some ways. Like the things that make me the most happy in my day-to-day outside of like personal relationships is like getting a coffee, walking and going to watch the sunset. I think that I find peace in it.
The sunset with his Japanese boyfriend.
Those things. At the end of the day, if anything bad happens in life, someone else had it worse. And I think that you can just look at the positives. If I believe that I'll fall off and everyone will fall off, then why have ego in viewership? Why not just ride it out as best you can for however long the ride lasts?
Okay, so you're just assuming that things are going to fall apart at some point. It also sounds like falling apart doesn't really sound like falling apart. Like things will end, but there's like a connotation with falling apart that you don't really lean into too much.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how it'll end. It could end very gracefully and beautifully. It could also be my terabyte hard drive of me saying slurs that gets leaked, whatever it is, less gracefully. But I think either results, it would work out.
Subscribe. That was a pretty good video. Shout out Golf Cart. That was a great video. I'm glad he still released it. He shouldn't have thought about not releasing it in the first place, but that was a great video though. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.